I've always wondered whether gift-giving on Chanukah is a Jewish concept or if it was borrowed from elsewhere. Besides, if you do give gifts, you have to worry about wrapping them, which can get difficult at times.
Can you gift wrap these? Okay, where would I get the paper? What about what they have? You need a scissor too, right? Scotch tape too. So do they sell all that in the same store?
One thing I do know, though, is that this week's Torah portion, which falls out every year during Chanukah season, does contain a beautiful gift. Yosef is brought up out of the dungeon, asked to interpret Pharaoh's dreams. He does such a fantastic job that Pharaoh commutes the rest of his sentence, spiffs him up with a new wardrobe, appoints him as the prime minister of Egypt, and marries him off to Asnas, the daughter of Potiphar. Yes, that Potiphar, Yosef's former master, the person whose wife had tried to seduce Yosef, and when he rebuffed her advances, she was the one who had introduced those trumped-up charges that he had tried to violate her, which is what landed him in the dungeon in the first place. So marrying Mrs. Potiphar's daughter will go a long way towards clearing Yosef's name. And besides, the Potiphars are aristocracy, so that'll help his social standing. But the rabbis tell us that there's even more going on, because Asnas was Jewish, the only other Jewish person in Egypt. How's that possible, you'll ask? The answer is that years earlier, Yosef's sister Dinah was violently abducted and violated by Shechem. As a result of that union, Dinah had a daughter, Asnas. The family felt that it would be better, for various reasons, to send her away. And so baby Asnas was sent to Egypt, where she was brought up by her adopted parents, Mr. and Mrs. Potiphar. The Medrash goes even further and tells us that Yosef, like every other Jewish man, was unbelievably handsome. So the young women of Egypt, whenever he would pass by, would throw trinkets at him, maybe pieces of paper with their numbers on it, or jewelry. And one day, Asnas, as he passed by, threw her necklace at him. It had a locket. It hit the ground. After it hit him, it opened, and Yosef looked at it, and it said inside, "Whoever cleaves to the bearer of this locket will be cleaving to someone from the family of Jacob." Obviously, he was flabbergasted. How could there be somebody from my family here in Egypt? And he went and sent his guards to go find Asnas, and sure enough, nice Jewish girl, Dinah's daughter, and they get married. What an unbelievable coincidence. Not that we believe in them. It's not a coincidence because God arranged for Yosef to be sold and made a slave to the one person in whose house there's the only other Jewish person, the girl, the young woman whom he'll eventually marry. Only God could arrange that. What a beautiful gift. But 1 second. Is there a hidden alternative? Maybe it wasn't only God who could arrange that. Maybe there's a natural explanation. All those years earlier, when the family sent Asnas away, did they just put her on a caravan and hope that she'd make it somewhere safe? Or isn't it more likely that they would have done some research to find the right foster family? The Potiphars. He's the chief executioner. They're a member of the aristocracy. He's got a well-paying job, a bright future, no other kids, a nice home. Yes, that sounds like the right home. Let's send her there. And so years after that, when the brothers sold Yosef, is it possible that while they were acting to him in the most callous-seeming fashion, that they weren't slipping in some ray, some silver lining, some hidden gift, telling the Ishmaelite merchants to whom they were selling him, listen, we're selling him to you for a very cheap price on one condition. You're going to bring him to Egypt, and you're going to make sure that he gets sold to Potiphar, the chief executioner, making sure that Yosef, while in Egypt, would have a nice Jewish girl whom he could marry someday. I don't know about gift-giving on Chanukah, but I do know that doing something nice for a sibling is certainly a Jewish concept. Have a happy Chanukah.
A bow and a card? Well, I'm going to be handing her the gift. Isn't it obvious who it's for?
It just makes it nice.
For us, this is a bow and a card. And where do you get the bow and the card? Is that in the same store as the scissor and the Scotch tape?
Well, the card.
How many stores are we talking about here? Boy, it's very complicated.